Alright, we got a BMW update. The LS is in its final resting place for good until I blow it up. I think, hopefully. I've said that before. Got the shifter all sorted.
I'm trying to close it.
Since I modified where the transmission sits, the shifter selector rod was affected. It was only like 3/4 of an inch. So I had to cut out. Hi. I think I saved it. See you later. Maybe not. Maybe I tossed it. But it was literally 3/4 of an inch out of the shifter rod. And put everything in a pretty good spot. Everything's nice and tight. And I got plenty of room in between the dash.
Seats. Where are my seats?
It's in the Jeep right now.
Not here?
No, we'll get it in here though, okay? So then I started mocking up the Holly. Got the Holly tucked into here, and then there's a plate that bolts on over this. So it should work out really good. The Holly harness should dip down into there. And then I do have to figure out, I got to connect this to the battery. So I'm going to have to figure out where I can run that and extend it. I know these terminals are right here, but Holly's pretty particular about directly to the battery. And then I also have to figure out this other harness. This is the drive-by-wire. Yes, I know, lame, but this car is already a drive-by-wire car. It's a 6-pin connector like the GM. So I'm just gonna cut and splice, and it'll operate as if it's a GM pedal, which is super cool. And then I have the LS1 intake. This is a truck throttle body, and I cut off the bottom of the coolant crossover. It was hitting the water pump right there. So right now the steering shaft is out. The header is off. I've got new gaskets. I'm waiting on this gasket and new plate. I'm just not going to run knock sensors. And then I also pretty much have everything to put the intake on. And then I can put this header on. The crank sensor is plugged in. I am going to figure out a better routing for the starter wire. I got to figure out where it plugs in here. And then pretty close to a first start. I got to get a LS1 fuel filter. I'm going to replace the BMW filter. It's a dual inlet, one outlet. So should be able to just slap that baby in and call it a day. So pretty much close to a first start. So we'll see. I do need to get a new BMW style radiator. I'm going to use a stock style setup so I can use the condenser and everything. I've got to get those lines off of the power steering cooler. And it all fits. Everything clears. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to run coolant through it when I first start it. I don't know what radiator hoses are going to work, what won't, etc. And it also depends on which radiator I use. I still want to use the stock condenser, so I need to figure out a radiator that fits with the stock condenser. And then I need a bunch of random parts like the brackets for the engine and AC switch that I need to splice into the hose that's laying around here somewhere on the ground. That hose needs a GM sensor. And yeah, We're getting there. And then once I get all of this stuff buttoned up, the fuel filter, all the mounts are tight, all of that, I'm going to start on the rear. I'm doing rear subframe reinforcements, and then I'm also doing a new diff. This is a 338 diff, and this is a 293 diff. So, you down there working?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm working. I'm working.
Okay, cool. And then I also have something really cool my pal Barney gave me today that I'm going to go grab.